today's session. Again, hello to everyone and good to see you here, that you gather here to listen, I think, quite important and very interesting speeches today. My name is Paweł and I work in Warsaw Botanic Garden in Education Department. I would like to remind you to switch on your flying mode or just silence your phones. I saw and I still can see that many of you are using them right now. And how many of you have a smartphone with you right now? I think almost all of us. So we are everyday users, and as I thought, all of us use these beautiful devices. I have even my speaking notes with me right now at it. So honestly, nowadays they are our second mind. So there are some papers talking about that our IQ is lower because of the fact that we are using these beautiful devices. But we will talk more about it during this session for the next hour and a half, so till 3:30. This session is dedicated to new tools in education. Unfortunately, Jody from Durban Botanic Gardens cancelled his talk, so today we listen to 4 instead of 5 speakers. The third presentation by Abby will be via video. She's not here with us, but Helen, are you here? Not yet, but Helen is additional author and she will ask questions if you have any after Amy's video. Each speaker has 15 minutes for a talk and 5 minutes for questions just after the speech, so I recommend you to ask some questions. I have time cards with me. I will sit in front of you. I will keep you on time, so please, eyes on me. I will give you signals how many time do you have. Do you have any questions? Very good, brilliant. So I would like to invite our first speaker, Yu Ito from Sichuan University. Yuto, the mic is yours.
Hello everyone. Can you hear my voice? Good. Okay, I'm from Japan. Good afternoon, everyone. And I just arrived this afternoon because of the typhoon problem in Western Japan, and so some, jet lag or something. But I try my best. Okay, and I'm from Setsunan University, which is a private university in Western Japan, situated in Osaka Prefecture. And I'm here as a person in charge of small medicinal plant garden that belong to the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And today I will give a brief introduction about our garden and our university, and then move on to the topic of QR code system. Now let's see, let me explain a little bit about our garden. What you can see here is the top one is that one is the university website in Japanese, and then here is the garden website that I created. And the university has 7 faculties, and one of the faculties is the pharmaceutical sciences. And our garden is a part of the faculty facility, and then we have 2 arboretum and 1 garden, as you can see, and then 1 greenhouse over there. And then one of the most important event of our garden is field work excursion for more than 200 students for this second year grade. And today's talk is a little bit about the greenhouse, glass house. So let's see how about the glass house here. So let's see the fact and figure of the glass house. You can see the glass house here. It's not big, so I'll show you some figures. The maximum height is 9.5 meter, which also, that one is 9.5 meter, which is not enough for most of the tropical plants, tropical trees. And then the minimum height here is the 5 meter, and the width are 9.4 meter from here to here, and then the length just 20 meter from here to there. So the size of the glass house is 190 square meter. So you can see how small it is. And the last figure is the pathway width. This one is important. We have only just a 1 meter width for pathway, walkway for students or visitors. And sometimes we need to accept 100 students at the same time, which is impossible. So I ask students to come like 10 people or 20 students by one after another. So I need to use some compact way to show the plant for student of 100 or 20 to 100 student. Sorry, I should show this one first. So first to say why QR code. What you can see here is the interior view of the glass house in the past. Before I came here, I came to the university, and then they use like A4 size plant signboard, as you can see here. So if like 10 people or 20 students come, these are somehow annoying. So I want to create some compact and simple and informative way of showing the plant information. So that's why I came up with an idea of using QR code. So let's see, sorry, I should back to this. So then what is QR code? I just briefly show. What you can see here is the part-time job advertisement in Japan. You can just scan this code and then jump to a website. And here I found this in Bangkok railway system. So I don't know what kind of website you can jump, but somehow you can jump to any website. And you can also see this kind of QR code in botanic garden or medicinal plant garden, as you can see, like this one. So here's QR code is a barcode and common in garden. But the problem here is sometimes like this, the code has disappeared after 1 year or 2 years, and probably this one is a problem when you start using this system. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about material and method, how I can do it. First, I found any website like QR code scanner. There's 10 or maybe 100 options and I choose this one like QR code scanner page, and you can get one unique QR code for, in my case, one species. And once I got like 16 unique QR code for 16 species, I put the information, the barcode onto the PowerPoint folder, and then this one print out in the A4 size paper, and then cut into pieces, 16 pieces, and then later I laminate, as you can see in the last image. So the 3-step: get QR code and print out label, and then laminate. Here's some about the material method for web contents. In my case, I use a university web server. So fortunately, technically we have unlimited data storage, so I can put as many images or photos as possible. And I use the HTML format, so I normally use the Notepad something to create a website. And then the QR code web content is in a part of the Garden website, which I manage by myself. Okay, so let's see the result. Okay, here you can see the first generation QR code. I mentioned in my abstract, at that time I used this method using a plastic vinyl bag, which is not expensive and easy to use. But as you can see, this failed. Like the second one, this photo shows, I think less than 1 month after I set up this one. And because of the mist in the afternoon, every afternoon we have the mist in the glass house, and then this happened. So I would say this is not very good. So I came up with another idea, which is laminate, using laminate technique. And you can see like this one, the coffee arabica, and here's another one, Jocarpa species. And it's been, I think, 3 or 4 months since I arranged this one, and so far so good. So I think I can use this laminate method for longer term usages. And the middle photo, you can see the student who try to access to the web contents using their own smartphone. And the thing is, we have like more than 1,000 students in the university's faculty. And then most of all the students have their own smartphone. So technically speaking, all the students can access to the website if they want. So I think that is a merit, and that can somehow attract the student to the plant or medicinal plant itself. Okay, and I show you some about the web contents. This one shows the nutmeg tree, and the photo was taken by myself when I visited India for field work. And we do have this plant in the garden, in the glass house, but the garden has only 9.5 meter limitation, so it's small, and it's too small to flower, too small to have fruits. But in that case, I can use my own photos, and they show this important part for a student, because the nutmeg, I'll just briefly explain. The black part is the nutmeg, and then the red part is called mace. And the two of these are important for spices, like Indian curry or something. And then, okay, so I try to create the web contents which is mobile friendly. All you have to do is scan the code using your own smartphone. And image rich, I try my best to include as many images as possible to attract students. And multilingual, just in case. So far we have only Japanese students, but no one knows. And originality. This one, it means that I created this website. I took my photo and then wrote the Japanese description and English description myself. Here are 2 more examples. You can see the tea tree pages and a page and the miracle fruits page. The tea tree, the photo was not mine, but I allowed to use this photo because I got a permission from Australian plant website or something. I got permission. So even we have this plant and I haven't seen this flower, but fortunately I can show this photo, important flower, to the student. And the last one is the miracle fruit photo. I took this photo in another university's garden, and we have this plant but small and then no flower, no fruit, so this is the same thing. I can use these photos for the system. Okay, now last part, I just briefly say something about the future perspective. The first one is the check level sustainability, because it's been just 3 months or 4 months, and I said so far so good, but I want to see if this can be good for half a year or 1 year or several years later. I hope so. And then the other thing is to enrich web contents. So far, I did myself, and then I wrote the description in Japanese and English, but to maintain the quality or enrich, to accurate the information as possible. Maybe I can collaborate with other university garden or botanic garden using hopefully the international collaboration or something. And yes, finally I thank my colleague, Professor Takamatsu and Mr. Inoue and Mr. Nakano of Seton University for their advice and help. Thank you.
One, two, 1, 2. Okay, thank you, Yu. It was quite interesting point of view how to present plants and how you can upload as many photos as you can, as you told us. Do you have any questions? Yes, we have. The man was first. Could you?
Thank you so much for the presentation. I have 2 questions, please. For the QR code, the technical kind of, so you are taking the data from the database you created or from a label from the website?
I created.
I mean you have to create a database first,
Yes.
and then the barcode, you are taking the information from the database itself. Or if I have a website, for example, I can use this program and to create a label for me.
So I'm not really.
I mean,